Alright, we're starting out with STP 1092 F-15 SMTG, Headquarters Department of the Army Soldiers Training Guide, Military Operational Specialist, N2F, Petroleum Specialist, skill levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, May 2006, supporting victory, distribution approved for public release and distributed as unlimited, the public, Soldier Training Publication 1020 F-15 SMTG, Headquarters Department of Army, Washington, D.C., 31st, 2006. Soldier Manning and Training Guide for the MOS 92F for the Petroleum Specialist, skill levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Preface and Chapter 1, Introduction, General Tasks, Submarine Soldiers' Responsibilities, NCO Self-Development of Soldiers Training Publication, Commander's Responsibility, Trainer's Responsibility, and Trainer Support. Chapter 2, Trainer's Guide, General Subject Area Code, Duty, Position, Training Requirement, Task Correlation Hierarchy. Chapter 3, MOS, Skill Level 1, Subject 1, General Petroleum Operations, as in sling load package petroleum products. 2, identified major categories of petroleum products. 3, performing firefighting operations. Sample of petroleum products converted, measuring quantity to net quantity at 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Preparing accountability for petroleum products, employing environmental stewardship for protection program measures. Sub-area tank. Subject area 2, chapter 3. Performing railway car operations, performing waterborne operations, perform refuel on the move operations, performing tank vehicle operations, operating pumps and filter separators, performing HEMTT tanker aviation refueling systems, HTARS operations. Subject 3, Class 3 operations, appropriate fuel system supply point, FSSP, operating forward area refueling point, FAIR. Performing petroleum and salt hose line operations. Operating Advanced Aviation Forward Refueling Systems, AAFARS. Operating Remote Refueling Rear Deployment Distribution System, R3D2S. Operating Load Handling System Modular Farm, LMFF. Operating Force Provider Bulk Fuel Storage and Distribution Subsystem. Operating Tactical Petroleum Terminal. Subject 4, pipeline operations, performing transfer operations, operating pipeline pumps, performing pipe scraper operations, maintaining petroleum pipe sections, and performing interface cut operations, performing petroleum pump stations and pipeline reports. Skill level 2. Subject 5, area, general petroleum operations. Supervising firefighting operations, supervising environmental stewardship protection program measures, supervising sling loading and packaged petroleum products, supervising petroleum pilferages control program, supervising sampling and gauging procedures. Subject 6, supervising tank vehicles, supervising tank vehicles operations, supervising petroleum rail tanker car operations, supervising pump filter operations, supervising refuel on the move operations, supervising petroleum waterborne operations, supervising HEMTT tanker aviation refueling HTARS operation, supervising Class 3, Section Area 3, supervising Class 3 operations, loading handling, LHS, modular fuel farm, LMFF operations, supervising fuel system supply point operations, supervising forwarding area of refueling equipment fair operations, supervising petroleum assault hose line operations. Supervising advanced aviation forward of refueling systems of AAFRAS operations. Supervising remote refueling, rearming, deployment, distribution is in system of R3D2S. Supervising force provider, FP bulk fuel storage distribution subsystem operations. Subject 8. Supervising pipeline operations. Determine interface cut operations. Supervise pipeline operations. Supervise installation petroleum valves pipeline sections. Supervise transfer operations. Supervise tactical petroleum terminal operations. Skill level 3. Subject area 9. Direction general petroleum operations. Direct public petroleum pilferages control program. Direct slinging operation. Direct sampling gauging procedures implemented a petroleum fire and safety program. Implement a petroleum environmental stewardship protection program. Subject 10. And skill level 3. Directing tank vehicles, directing petroleum waterborne operations, directing unit with the Army Maintenance Management System TAMS, directing refuel on the movement of ROM, directing petroleum tank vehicles operations, directing the petroleum rail tanker car operations, directing HMETT tanker aviation refueling systems, HTARs, and operation. Section 11, directing class of 3 operations. Direct forwarding Army refueling equipment, fair operations. Directing the fuel system and supply point FSSP operations. Directing petroleum assault hose line operations. Directing advanced aviation forward area refueling systems AFARS operations. Directing remote refueling, rearming, deploying distribution system ARD3D2Ss. Direct loading of systems modular fuel farm LMFF operations. Direct force provider bulk fuel storage distribution subsystem operations. Subject 12, directing pipeline operations, directing petroleum pipeline operations, directing installation petroleum valves and pipeline sections, directing transfer operations, directing tactical petroleum terminals, TPT operations. Skill level 4, subject area 13, controlling general petroleum operations. Establish a petroleum quality service program. Develop a petroleum environmental stewardship protection program, plan a petroleum fire prevention and safety program, plan accountability for petroleum products, plan slinging operations. Subject 14, controlling the tank vehicles, controlling ROM site, managing petroleum tanker vehicle operations, controlling waterfront operations, managing unit maintenance of assigned equipment within the Army Management System TAMS. Subject 15, controlling Class 3 pipeline operations, determining throughout the requirements of the petroleum pipeline, performing the duties of shift, dispatch, and pipeline distribution system. Manage installation petroleum pipeline sections, controlling Class of 3 supply point operations, manage tactical petroleum terminal operations. Skill level 5. Evaluation general petroleum subject tank and vehicles. Evaluate the petroleum environmental stewardship protection program. Evaluate the accountability of quality and surveillance plan. Petroleum water operations. Subject 17. Evaluating class 3 and pipeline operations. And for class 3 supply point operations. Evaluating petroleum pipeline operations. Chapter 4. Duty position task. Preface. The publication is a skill of level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Soldiers of the MOS and 92F for the training of the first line supervisors. It contains standard training objectives in the form of the task summaries. The train evaluated soldiers on the critical task in which the support unit mission is during wartime. Trainers and supervisors should ensure that 92F qualified soldiers have access to the publication. Should be given in the widest and public dissemination. The widest possible dissemination in the areas such as the work areas, training areas, learning centers, units, as well as virtual libraries. The publication of the Active Army, Army National Guard, or the Army National Guard of the United States, and the United States Army Reserves, unless otherwise stated. The promotion of the publication of the U.S. Army's Training Doctrine Command TRADOC. Send comments, recommendations to the U.S. Army Combined Army Support Command on the DA Form 2028. The recommendation change for publications in blank forms directly to U.S. Army Combined Air Arms Support Command Doctrine Training Directorate, Sustained Division, Petroleum, Water, and Lab Branch, Fort Lee, Virginia, 23801-1511. Unless the publication states otherwise, masculine and nouns and pronouns do not refer exclusively to men. This page is intentionally left blank. Chapter 1, the introduction.